Okay, now moving on, since India will also move on after that Florida match, they'll move to the West Indies for the Super 8s because we have already qualified. Yes.
Okay, we will start. We will start.
Yes.
I hope the mic doesn't distort that sound.
Okay, Shalini, let's start with you. What exactly are you looking forward to in the West Indies, which you think you missed in the US?
Some good scores.
Bang on. Shalini.
For once, bang on answer from Shalini.
I had also said
I thought he's going to say Virat Kohli scoring 100.
That could be a possibility.
That is a possibility, but
And
she
India
said something else.
some good scores, which I
That's a
think we
reality.
all need. Right now, we are just having this 111 and 105 and 106 and all of that, which is like a very, very sad score. And that to people, batsmen are like literally struggling to get that score also. Also, that therefore the outfield is slow most of the time, and things are really bad. And I saw that day that Rishabh Pant was hitting the ball somewhere and is going somewhere else, and so it is like a kind of a.
I think that was just Rishabh Pant playing different kind of shots altogether.
Shalini, seriously, yeah. You deserve it.
Yeah, I deserve it.
You deserve it. Completely.
Yeah. So therefore, if a player like Pant, he's not being able to judge the ball or the kind of the pitch. And so therefore, we all see that.
Virat Kohli scored a sum total of 5 runs on that pitch.
True. Yeah,
So you can't say Pant struggling. The king was struggling so much.
All the players are struggling.
Yeah,
right?
I think Pant was one of the better players.
Yes, of course he was. But thank God for those shots. I'm just saying that and a player like Pant and is not being able to understand, and or anyone is not being able to understand. So therefore, those 105 and will go up to 205.
That's the correct point. That pitch was so difficult to understand that people were struggling like how to play. Like somebody trying to score, like Rizwan's 50 coming off 52, 55 balls, things like that. Everybody playing a slow sort of innings. It was not good for T20 cricket. And now, at least in West Indies, expect some runs.
We certainly expect some runs, and the reason why I have my phone in hand because I am going to quickly throw in a couple of stats. India has played in the West Indies T20 internationals 14 times, and India has won 7 and lost 7. Not a very good.
Why can't I remember these losses? For some reason, I can only remember the victories.
We should only remember the victories.
The last match
Positive
also, which we played in the West Indies, we lost that by the way. But then, to be honest,
There's a second string.
it was a second string Indian side. But then that had Shubman Gill.
Yashasvi Jaiswal also.
Yashasvi Jaiswal opening. I think in the last match, if I'm not wrong, Surya scored an 83 odd innings. I'm not sure about that.
Can't remember these games where Kohli and Rohit are not.
Last 5 T20 internationals in the West Indies, India has lost 3 out of those.
Could be. So,
Is it concerning?
I don't think so.
Why?
I think India, over the years, last few years at least,
That happened in 2023.
last few tours at least, India haven't sent their full strength side to the Caribbean islands, and I think right now the team we have.
Can I just interrupt?
Yeah.
Full string side would have had Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli who are anyway getting out soon.
No, but so would there be Jasprit Bumrah. There would be
Arshdeep Singh played that series.
Yeah, I'm saying that there's Kuldeep Yadav. I'm not sure whether he was part of that squad also. Ravindra Jadeja. A lot of people were rested. You could look at those combinations also. Rishabh Pant was also not there. So there are so many players who are not there, and no matter what, yes, Kohli and Rohit haven't performed in US. Yeah, Rohit got a 50 in the first game, but apart from those two, I think you can expect some runs from them in West Indies. They have played there so many times. They tested it, beat ODI, beat T20s also. So I'm expecting some runs from them, and I do believe that India will fare so much better than what they have done in the past.
Right, and also Shalini, yes, now if I call it that way, the play phase of the tournament is over. Now you'll get big dogs in the Super 8s. Do you think that this Indian side, yes, obviously being Indians, being patriotic Indians, we obviously feel that yes, India will win all their matches. But realistically speaking, do you think that India has that in them to actually trump someone like an Australia?
Of course, hands down. India
India winning that also, for sure.
The Indian team is very balanced. and it will perform very well. Of course, because of the pitch, if things have not been that well for India, at least in case of scoring runs and or chasing the runs. But in Windies, I hope things will be better. And of course, I'm not saying that India will not lose a single match that happened in the the World Cup ODI. And
That was the final.
then for the finals, they lost it. So I would pray that loss happens before and not in. And if India qualifies for the finals, they don't lose it again.
You're actually saying that this is the time where India lose one match, because I remember Siddhant also pointed this out. That
Lose
if
now,
India,
lose
exactly,
now.
But don't lose the finals, please.
Don't lose the
Yeah,
finals.
yeah.
So you get that jinx out of the way.
Yes, you get the jinx out.
So another aspect I wanted to bring up is the Super 8 group. Okay, now we know, of course, Bangladesh aren't yet confirmed a place, but most likely they will qualify. But so Afghanistan on the 20th, then 22nd it's Bangladesh, and 24th is Australia. You know, there was a time people would have thought that probably the group's going to be a little tougher. A lot of people on social media are talking about whether India have got an easy group in the Super 8. Love, what do you think?
I think yes, they got an easy group considering the fact that Pakistan is next to a minnow. So that's why.
No, I'm talking about the Super 8 group. So Super 8
The
group,
Super
Pakistan.
8 group,
Yeah.
okay. The Super 8 group, I don't think so, because if you remember, in the beginning of the tournament as well, I said that two of the teams that are favourites to lift the cup are Afghanistan and West Indies, and you are facing Afghanistan. Bangladesh, you cannot count out on their day.
Yeah, they've beaten us in the West Indies before.
Right. I can say that comparatively, as
And we lost to
Bangladesh,
Australia.
Bangladesh will be a little easy. But then you face the mighty Aussies. Australia in an ICC event is a different ballgame altogether.
We
You
lost
beat them in
already.
bilateral series, you beat them anywhere you want. But when it comes to the ICC events, there are thorns.
And they've got some big match winners.
They've got some big
They've
match-
got some
Talking
players.
about big match winners as well, Siddhant, I was actually looking after the stats and all in this tournament. The people who are built stronger are actually going on to hit the ball for sixes a little more. You take any Windies cricketer, you take Marcus Stoinis, and the people who actually rely more on timing, they are unable to score as well. I think so. Virat, Kohli, Rohit, Sharma, Babar Azam, anyone you name, people who actually time the ball well, they are not able to score big runs. Whereas people who are well built, they have strength. Even if they miss time, the balls are going over the ropes. So I think in that context as well, do you think India actually has someone like a Marcus Stoinis who could actually do that job?
What are Hardik Pandya and Shivam Dube doing in this side?
I'm saying well built.
Well, muscle. It doesn't matter. Those guys
They
get.
also depend on timing.
I think the amount of sixes Dube can hit, I think he'll beat Stoinis also for that matter.
Let's-
We don't need a Hercules.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Hulk. So I want to tell you this. I really don't think that matters a lot, because yesterday also the guy who bailed West Indies out again, not yesterday, today morning, the guy who bailed West Indies out against New Zealand was a certain Sherfin Rutherford.
But they have a different muscle, right?
No,
West
but
Indians have
West
a different
Indians
muscle. They're extra set
We
of
have
muscles.
goats. We don't need all these Hulks.
We have
Goats.
goats.
Yeah.
Goat is one. They cannot be goats.
But yeah,
Even Rohit Sharma is.
so
Rohit Sharma is a goat and Virat is also goat.
Yes.
So West
They
Indies
are all
were.
greatest of all times.
I
believe.
both of you have moved away from the discussion.
Sorry.
I was just talking about that West Indies were 30 for 5 today. You know, they have players like Johnson, Charles, they're huge build players.
Don't forget Andre Russell.
Andre Russell was there. Andre Russell had a partnership also with Sherfin Rutherford. But Rutherford can hit those sixes even though he doesn't look, that bulky in terms of muscles.
Right.
So I disagree on that count. I want to see, Afghanistani players, Ravindra Gurbaz played a great knock, against New Zealand the other day, and even he doesn't pack so much muscle.
Right.
So if you look at those examples also, I don't think muscle is the only thing that matters. Yes, those guys might hit more sixes, but at times you need that finesse also on pitches. Those 150, 160 odd pitches. There you need some finesse also. Not every time you have to go out and hit a six.
Okay, agreed.